and we'll take a look on what that means for Saturday's game.
And as we all begin to prepare for the holidays, we meet with Cameron the Cat, who helps bring together politicians in the Nebraska legislature.
This is Nebraska Nightly.
Live from the University of Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Thanks for joining us for Nebraska Nightly. My name is Hallie Gutzweiler.
And I'm Chloe Sander. Our top story of the day. For many Nebraskans, this time of year means holiday preparation. But for some, it means wrapping up harvest and looking ahead to what's next. I went to a farm to see firsthand the importance of the harvest season. Ron Volkmer has been farming near Bruning, Nebraska for 36 years.
Some years are good and some years are bad.
Ron's crew has 10 people on it. They tackle almost 6,000 acres each harvest.
They know what they're doing. These guys this isn't their first rodeo, and so the truck drivers know trucks, and the grain cart drivers know the grain carts, and hopefully we that drive the combines know what we're doing occasionally. So
Volkmer is like thousands of other farmers across Nebraska who spend their Octobers and Novembers harvesting grain to get their paycheck for the year.
it's a rare year where we actually have good prices and we have good production.
But this year looks good for grain farmers. Yields are high and so are prices. Senior agriculture economist at the Nebraska Farm Bureau, Jay Rempe, says the global marketplace is driving the price up.
We've had some production hiccups in other places across the world. We've had strong demand, particularly from China and other countries in Asia.
The demand for corn and soybeans is putting more money into producers' pockets. University of Nebraska-Lincoln Associate Professor of Agriculture, Fabio Matos, says good prices are helping all sectors of Nebraska's economy.
When farmers start selling their grain, their cattle, and generating money, so they're going to use that money to buy inputs for the next season, okay, and also buy household items for their families and send their kids to college. Okay.
Agriculture brings jobs to Nebraska and contributes to the overall state in a big way.
It's about a quarter of our state's economy in terms of the number of jobs, the total income or total revenue that it generates or output, in terms of the value added that it brings.
The boost to the economy is not the only thing harvest brings. Harvest season directly affects each person. Grain feeds livestock and is used to make all sorts of products.
Long run, we're providing a feedstuff to raise beef or pork or chickens or other foodstuffs that we eventually end up on America's tables.
Farmers' hard work is rewarded at the end of the harvest. They begin to sell their crops and look to the future. Volkmer believes this time of year is more than just bringing in grain.
Hope that the crops are good, hope that the equipment runs, hope that we can cover the operating line at the bank, pay the bank off, and be here next year to try it again.
Harvest is finished, and hope will carry Ron and other farmers through the selling season and into the planting process all over again in January.
Absolutely. Also this week, Nebraska's politicians, past and present, made headlines. Political correspondent Kirsten Foote has the latest.
It has been a busy week for Nebraska politics, with several key votes placed in Congress and candidacy announcements. This week, a federal judge agreed to push back Jeff Fortenberry's trial from December to February, so Fortenberry's team could be better prepared. Fortenberry was indicted in October for allegedly lying to the FBI about accepting foreign campaign contributions. State Democratic Senator Patty Pansing Brooks announced early this week she will be running for Nebraska's first congressional district seat in the 2022 election. Congressman Jeff Fortenberry has held his seat for 18 years without any serious contenders running against him. UNL's political science professor Dr. John Hibbing says the FBI investigation could shake things up.
In normal times, it's going to be very difficult for a Democrat to win. But these are not normal times with Fortenberry's indictment for allegedly lying to the FBI. We'll just have to see that plays out. My hunch is that makes them a little bit more vulnerable to a challenge from the right within the Republican Party than for a Democrat to win, but we'll have to see.
Two of Nebraska's representatives, Don Bacon and Senator Deb Fischer, both voted to pass the Democrats' $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that will help businesses and transportation. This bill is controversial, but some business professionals are excited for the benefits. Also, former state senator Teresa Thibodeau announced she will be entering Nebraska's gubernatorial race. She joins 4 other Republicans and 1 other Democrat who have already announced their candidacy. Primary elections for the governor and Congress will be held this upcoming May. I will continue to follow these developing stories and campaigns. Before we know it, it'll be May, and we will be voting in the primaries. Back to you, Chloe and Hallie.
Thanks, Kirsten. Last week, the nation celebrated Veterans Day. Ethan Piedrick has a story on how Lincoln celebrated the men and women who served our country.
On Sunday, November 7th, thousands of Nebraskans lined the sidewalks of K Street to honor veterans through the 2021 Lincoln Veterans Parade.
It's important for our country to realize the men and women that have signed that check to sacrifice their well-being and their families to support and defend our country.
Sean Vandervik served 22 years in the United States Navy and said the Lincoln community is one of the best for veterans. Like Vandervik, University of Nebraska Lincoln President Ted Carter served in the United States Navy for 38 years. Carter provided the opening remarks for the parade.
The one thing our country has never done, never stopped thanking our American veterans. They have chosen to stand the watch when no one else would.
Carter added that the responsibility to honor veterans does not just stop on Veterans Day.
We have a duty not just to remember and celebrate our veterans today, but on every day.
The parade featured units from branches of the military, law enforcement, youth organizations, local businesses, and local high school bands. Parade Commander Antonio Marino said the parade's greatest strength is its uniting ability.
It brings the community together. It brings focus to what so many feel is so important.
The parade started in 2018 to honor those who have served their country. The parade has grown from 45 marching units and a few hundred spectators to over 60 marching units and a few thousand spectators. Reporting for the Nebraska News Service, I'm Ethan Petrick.
Thanks, Ethan. I loved seeing so many people gathering to thank our veterans for their sacrifices.
Yes, and taking a look into this weekend, Husker fans at the football game in Madison will need to pack some layers. Student meteorologist Nora Lucas has your Saturday forecast.
Good afternoon, Lincoln. Let's take a look at our game day forecast as we face off against the Wisconsin Badgers in Madison. Looking at the morning of game day, we are expecting temperatures to be around 37 degrees and mostly cloudy. That'll continue through most of the day. Those temperatures are going to warm up just a little bit to the mid-40s. We're expecting 45 degrees right around kickoff, so 2:30 p.m. Those winds are going to be coming from the southwest at 10 miles per hour. By the end of the game, we're expecting temperatures to be right around 40 degrees, so make sure to bring a couple layers, a jacket, hat, gloves to keep yourself warm if you're going to the game in Madison. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Nora. I'm looking forward to enjoying that little bit of sun before that cold finally settles in.
Me too. We will be back with your full 7-day forecast after this break.
Is anybody down to go to a first gen event today? So what do you think?
Looks great. Let's go.
Welcome to First Generation Nebraska.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. I have to say, we've been pretty lucky with the 65-degree days we've seen earlier this week, but winter is coming.
These next 7 days will start to feel a little bit more like November and help us all get in the mood for the holidays. Student meteorologist Kyle Kleckner has the 7-day forecast.
Good afternoon, Lincoln. This is your Nebraska Nightly Forecast. We're going to take a look at the weather for today as well as for the rest of this week. So looking at some current conditions right now for your commute home. Got some pretty breezy conditions right now. Those winds are out of the southwest, about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Got a few gusts up to about 30 miles an hour as well. Your temperature for this afternoon and this evening sitting right now at about 51 degrees. Now, as we take a look at some of these surface features for much of the CONUS, continental United States, we have a lot of high pressure over the eastern part and the middle part of the country. But as we look into more of where we are here in southeast Nebraska, as you can see just off to our west, have a weak area of low pressure, and this will probably affect us very briefly over the next couple of days. This will probably provide a couple of weak cold fronts and wind shifts associated with that as well. So it's something to keep an eye on over the next couple of days, as well as for the rest of the week. Is really much of the week next week will be much of a roller coaster in terms of temperature and wind's direction. So as we head into your forecast for tonight, the temperature will be dipping down to about 33 degrees, and this will be enhanced by those clear skies and those calm winds, make our temperature a little bit chilly tonight. So as we head into your forecast for tomorrow, your temperature is going to be climbing back up into the mid-50s, a little bit warmer than today. Your temperature will be about 55 degrees. Winds are out of the south here at 10 miles an hour, and we'll have sunny skies throughout the much of the day for tomorrow. Now, as we head into your forecast for tomorrow night, very similar story as the previous night. Temperature will be dipping down to 33 degrees again with those calm winds. But we also have a little bit of an increase in the cloud cover for tomorrow night. Mostly cloudy skies are forecast for tomorrow night. Then as we head into your Sunday forecast, a little bit chillier than Saturday. The temperature will be 51 degrees, but we do have a wind shift that will keep those temperatures a little bit cooler than Saturday. Those winds will be out of the north at 15 to 20 miles an hour. Sunny skies throughout your day on Sunday as well. Now, as we head into your 7-day forecast, as you can see, Sunday night into Monday, we do have a little bit of a cold front that'll move through into your Monday morning. Temperature on Monday will be 44 degrees, a little bit chillier than Sunday's forecast. Now, as we head into your Tuesday, we're going to have another wind shift out of the south. Those temperatures will be increasing yet again, about 55 degrees on Tuesday. But as we go into Wednesday, we're going to have another cool down. Your temperature will be about 48 degrees. And then as we head into your Thanksgiving forecast on Thursday, hopefully have a nice Thanksgiving meal. That temperature will be a little bit chilly at 40 degrees for your high on Thursday. And then into your Black Friday on Friday, those temperatures will be warming up just a little bit at 46. This is your Nebraska Nightly Weekly Forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kyle. Looks like I'll have to find my hat and gloves to stay warm this weekend.
Me too. We all know, though, with cold weather comes flu season and more concerns with COVID-19. We're committed to keeping you up to date on all things that affect your health and safety. Hannah Rupke has this week's health report.
COVID-19 continues to linger in Lancaster County. On Tuesday, the Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department said cases continue to rise and at alarming rates. Health officials moved the COVID-19 risk dial to the mid-orange due to the increased cases and the concerns with hospital capacity. With the holidays approaching, hospital workers are worried that the hospitalization rate will get worse as people celebrate.
We were in a challenging time going into Thanksgiving last year, but there was a lot of people doing things that kind of limited some of the other things that we see that strain the hospital system that aren't happening now.
Lancaster County Health Director Pat Lopez urged everyone to get vaccinated if they haven't done so. Lopez says that we are making progress when it comes to getting children ages 5 through 11 vaccinated.
Having a safe and effective vaccine for children ages 5 through 11 is a major step forward for our community, and we're making great progress. In just over a week, 15% or 4,400 Lancaster County children in that age group received their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine.
Also, the Lincoln Children's Zoo announced 3 snow leopards died from COVID-19 complications. The zoo released a statement saying, quote, "This loss is truly heartbreaking, and we are all grieving together," end quote. The zoo is working with the American Association of Zoo Veterinarians now to ensure the safety of all its visitors and animals. Back to you guys at the desk.
The Lincoln Children's Zoo remains open to the public. Zoo officials say they are now taking additional precautions.
In other health news, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is doing their part to try to keep students healthy.
UNL is working to reduce the spread of influenza by providing on-campus flu shots. Macy Byers has a report.
It's important to prevent illness before it happens. The University Health Center is trying to prevent the spread of influenza on campus by offering free flu vaccines to students.
Flu season comes around every year, and it's important to stay up to date on your health. Flu vaccines are a great way to protect yourself and your community from the virus.
It does help protect against the flu virus, which is a super common virus, but can be really quite serious at times. It can lead to hospitalization, and it can also really derail your academic progress.
Since students are in close quarters in classes and dorms, officials say it is especially important to get vaccinated. Getting a flu vaccine at the University Health Center is a safe and easy process.
They have been around for a long time. They are seeing really great responses from people that do get the vaccines. It is making a big difference.
To schedule an appointment, you would call the health center. When you go to the appointment, bring your NCard and a power of attorney form if you are a minor. A registered nurse or a UNMC nursing student will administer the flu shot, and from there, your body produces antibodies to help reduce the chances of getting sick. Even if you wear a mask and have received your COVID vaccine, medical professionals recommend getting a flu vaccine to prevent yourself and others from getting sick.
By you getting a flu shot, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting those around you. Infants, those that have decreased immunity or are immune compromised, the elderly as well.
The health center is still offering Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines to students on a drop-in basis. To learn more about getting your flu shot or COVID-19 vaccine, visit health.unl.edu or call the health center.
Keeping yourself healthy is important with the holidays and finals week on the horizon. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call the University Health Center.
Thank you, Macy. We're pretty lucky to have a health center right here on campus. We will also continue to keep you updated on all the news that affects your health and safety.
Absolutely. Also, we all hope that masks and social distancing are temporary inconveniences, but some things are here to stay. Kaya Sweatland has the story on new changes in some Lincoln arenas.
For the duration of the coronavirus pandemic, the entertainment industry has seen many changes. Pinnacle Bank Arena is no exception. However, one thing hasn't changed. Paper is temporary, plastic is forever.
In the prelude to the upcoming Husker basketball season, Pinnacle Bank Arena announced that starting September 1st, both it and Pinewood Bowl Theater would be going cashless. This means that at all bars and concession stands, card will be the only acceptable form of payment. Now, similar to when the clear bag policy was implemented, adoption of the new cashless policy has been slow. For the time being, those unable to pay with a card have been able to purchase vouchers with cash that can then be exchanged for most items. However, this voucher accommodation is expected to be phased out as the Huskers basketball season progresses. For Nebraska Nightly, I'm Kaylee E. Sweatland.
Thanks, Kaya. After this break, we will have the weekend rundown for Husker athletics.
Girls Code Lincoln is a really important part of my life, and I feel like I've created such a good relationship with the people in the group. It's really just such a strong community of girls who inspire each other to do better. It's just a place where I can come, be myself, and learn more about not only technology, but also making new relationships with people here.
Welcome back. This weekend, Nebraska's football team will face number 19 Wisconsin in Madison.
Molly Robinson reports on some of the challenges Nebraska will face.
This weekend brings new challenges for the Nebraska football team. Why? The limited coaching staff. Last Monday, head coach Scott Frost fired 4 offensive assistant coaches. outwent offensive coordinator and receivers coach Matt Lubick, quarterbacks coach Mario Verduzco, offensive line coach and run game coordinator Greg Austin, and running back coach and recruiting coordinator Ryan Held. For the Huskers, it hasn't been an easy loss.
A bit of a tough transition for the team, for the offense. I think there's no hiding that. So it's tough, but as leaders on the team, it's our responsibility to make sure that we keep pressing on and we take these next 2 games, especially this week, this game against Wisconsin.
Losing coaches mid-season is never easy, especially when you have 2 tough opponents left to play. As the Huskers come off of a bye week and travel into Madison, Frost says change was needed.
Sometimes there just needs to be a little different voice and maybe little changes that can make a difference. And the timing was tough in the middle of a season, but everything's going to move really fast here after the season.
In his tenure, Frost has only 1 win coming off of a bye week. Will this change tomorrow with the new look on the staff? Reporting for Nebraska Nightly, I'm Molly Robinson.
This coaching change came as a big surprise for most Nebraskans. Hopefully with the changes, it will bring us to a victory.
I sure hope so. Game days, home or away, are always fun. But for most, it means tailgating and watching the games with friends. But a handful of students get to see the game through a different lens.
That's right. Kylie Moore has a story on student photographer Molly Hauser.
Molly Hauser is a UNL senior studying business, and while it's great getting to be on the field to watch the game, the typical day for a Husker student photographer is jam-packed.
I get to the stadium, I get my backpack tagged and kind of just get settled down. I get out my laptop, all my equipment, and get ready for the game. And we all have different equipment, so we can get different shots and different angles in different parts of the field, so we're all spread out. After the game, we edit all the pictures and identify all the players, and then call it a night. It's a long day.
Each year, many students apply for the position, but head photographer Scott Bruin says it's not a job every student is cut out for.
The best way is to pick photographers who want to do the job, because it's kind of demanding on the time constraint of a college kid. A lot of nights, a lot of weekends, so if they're willing to put in the time and effort, then we'll take a look at them, see if they can work with us.
This job is particularly special versus other on-campus jobs. Us as students, we do get, again, that first-hand experience. To get the experience and the opportunity to work with a D1 school, I think that's important and a great opportunity to put on your resume.
For Nebraska Nightly, I'm Carly Moore.
Thanks, Carly. This weekend is also busy for other sports. The Nebraska men's basketball team will tip off against Idaho State tonight and will face Southern University this Sunday.
On Saturday, the Husker women's basketball team will face off against North Carolina Central. And for volleyball team, senior night is tonight. Huskers play Penn State at 8 p.m.
After the break, we will have a story of a cat that heals the political divide in Nebraska unicameral.
There is a place for working individuals who want to work full-time and support their families to also pursue their dream, their educational dreams. So our graduates tell us that the program really broadened their perspective and they learned organizational context. They also learned to be good followers, team members, leaders, and effective members of the organization.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. While we are all preparing for the political debates at the Thanksgiving table, we can learn something from Cameron the cat at the Nebraska Capitol.
Kirsten Foote has your Friday feel-good story.
Political ideals may lead to contentious holiday dinners. If that's your case, take a lesson from a little guy named Cameron. Cameron is the infamous cat who visits the Capitol each day. He greets senators and staff across the political spectrum.
If you ever find yourself outside the Capitol building between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., you might encounter a four-legged friend.
Cameron's our mascot here at the Capitol. We always look forward to seeing him. He's a lot of times right here on these walls and greeting us, and I tell you, it's disappointing when we don't get to see him every day. But we're pretty much every day. It's a great way to start the day.
He is a very special little guy. Everybody looks forward to seeing him. And if you've had a long day, he's always waiting there. He's always usually here in the morning. always here around 5 or so when he knows people will leave in the afternoon. Everybody really enjoys seeing him. He's always a bright spot of the day.
Cameron even has his own Twitter page that loves to interact with new and old friends alike.
Well, Cameron's pretty famous around here, but just every day you see him coming in, going out, and right now he's looking at me, so I feel like he's listening. And he's just our little Capitol mascot. Everybody loves him, and it just feels like, makes you feel good coming in and going out of work. Of course, everyone from all spectrums stop and give him a little pet on the way in or out, or like myself, there's a few of us that bring him little treats, and so it's always fun.
We can all take a little inspiration from Cameron. Back to you, Chloe and Hallie.
Thanks, Kirsten. I love that story. Cameron is too cute and such a great example for many of us going into the holidays.
Also, kudos to Kirsten. Cameron's not exactly someone you can call and set up an interview with.
That's right. Well, I'm glad he was able to make an appearance.
Thank you for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly's second live show. We'll be back on December 3rd with the semester in review. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving.